Hey Travel fam, welcome back to another episode of Travelingtio. I hope you really enjoyed the last episode of Us One. Check it out if you haven't yet. So we went back to the cruise and continued our journey sailing up north the Nile River. I'm gonna head out to visit the next temple on the list, so stay tuned and check it out. Start the engines! Hey travel fan, we just left the cruise and we're now walking to the Kom Ombo Temple. On our way to the temple, we walk by like a night market by the port. You know, that's where the tourists come and you have a lot of street vendors. It's fun if you know how to bargain. Definitely bargain some of the things. My advice, just don't say yes to the first price they say. The Kom Ombo Temple was built between 332 BC and 395 AD. It is one of the most popular tourist locations visited on the Nile cruise itinerary between Aswan and Luxor. The Arabic name for Kom refers to a small hill, while the hieroglyphic word for Ombo refers to the gold in ancient Egypt, which means they used to be called the Hill of the Gold. Apparently this temple was built using local limestones and they are massive, and they used to use elephants to help it transport the stones. The Kom Ombo Temple has two entrances, some courts, colonnades, and a huge pit where they used to collect water. This temple was made to honor the crocodile god Sobek and the falcon god Horus. Due to the conflict between Sobek and Horus, the ancient Egyptians felt it necessary to separate their temple spaces with one temple. For me, the most impressive portion of the temple was when you enter the main court. There are 16 painted columns, 8 on each side of the court. There's also a granite altar that sits in the center of the main court, likely where their sacred bow was placed. The rear wall of the main court, there's 5 lotus-shaped columns along the screen wall. Through both entrances, you can find the first hypostyle hall. There are 10 lotus-shaped columns here in the middle, separating the two halves of the hall. The ceiling is the first hypostyle hall that is decorated with astronomical scenes, including scenes of Nut, goddess of the sky and the universe. There's 2 separate entrances that guide visitors into the second hypostyle hall, known as the Hall of Offering. Beyond this Hall of Offering, there are 3 antechambers. Now they're pretty much all destroyed. The southern portion of the temple is dedicated to Sobek, the crocodile god. In this part of the temple, there are many crocodile representations to pay homage to Sobek, who is also called the House of the Crocodile. Super interesting. And then the northern portion of the temple was dedicated to Horus, the god of sun. In this part of the temple, there are many representations of falcons to pay homage to the falcon-headed god Horus, and they used to call this part of the temple the Castle of the Falcon. Ancient Egyptians believed that Horus was also a doctor. The Kom Ombo Temple was known also for its healing powers, and if you can see on the walls, there's proof of medical utensils. On the back of the wall of the temple existed the very first known representation of the precise surgical tools. Some of these tools include like suction caps, scalpels, bone saws, dental tools, medicine bottles, and things like that. Very impressive. Curiously, there are so many passages surrounding the temple. And along those passages, you can find the sanctuaries and the hidden chambers. As you can see, little remains of the original structure. A good portion of the temple has been destroyed over time by earthquakes, erosion of the Nile River, and builders who stole the stones or unrelated projects. It's very interesting that the temple is oriented from east to west, based on the local north, which was determined by the Nile River. And I was very impressed when I saw the calendar that shows the figures for the days of the month and the hieroglyphic for the raining season.
Hey, what's up, Travel fam? It's me, Travelingtio. We are here in the Kom Ombo Temple, the ruins of the temple. Very impressive. It's just speechless. Everything you see, how well it's kept, what is left, and it's just insane. It's blown my mind.
A huge number of crocodiles once roamed the area inside and around Kom Ombo Temple. More than 300 crocodiles mummies were found at the temple, and now some of them reside in the Crocodile Museum, as you can see. Sobek is an Egyptian crocodile god that played many roles, but I think most likely he began as a fertility god. Sobek is associated with the wicked god Set, the enemy of Horus. In the Horus myth, the allies of Set made their escape by changing themselves into crocodiles. They believed that it was a totem animal, an object of worship. It would not attack them. Sobek then becomes a god that brings order from chaos and is associated with death and burial. Sobek is also the god of royalty and one which many pharaohs evoke. He's also the god of sovereignty, military, and war. So after the temple, I went to the local market and I bought myself a galavilla because it was the galavilla night of the cruise. So after visiting the temple and the crocodile museum, we head back to the cruise.
We ran into the boat market. It was crazy. The boat's about to leave us. Boarding time was like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. We made it to the boat. Well, we made it inside one boat. And this is one boat. So you walk across each boat. This is boat number 2. This is boat number 3. And we're at the boat.
We barely made it back to the cruise on time, but the night wasn't over yet. As of tonight, it was a galavilla night in the cruise. Everyone was wearing the galavilla, and we danced the night away. It was so much fun. There's still so many temples that we're gonna see in this journey, and more about the Nile cruise. Thank you again for watching, and if you like my content, please like and subscribe. And remember, you can follow real-time adventures in my social media, mainly Instagram, but you can find me everywhere as Travelingtio. See you in the next one.